Peggy is a columnist for the Toronto Tribune, and her desire to get to the bottom of a story often gets her into trouble. This week is no exception, as an apparent date rape hits close to Peggy and her daughter, Amber. Kyra Harper stars as Peggy Delaney in Odd Girl Out.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, communist, cop-loving, cop-hating, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, pretend anti-establishment, crypto-Bay Street, swamp pig, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
You're kidding.
No. She was the first one who was nice to me, too. My first day, new school and everything. Because, well, she's one of those kids who doesn't really have any friends. I feel awful.
Me too. Not least of all, because it could have happened to you.
I guess so.
You were at that dance.
I know.
Have they arrested these creeps?
No, not yet. But everybody knows who the police are talking to, so she must have said it was them. And they were there. I saw them. They wore black lipstick, and I think they're so cool.
Slipping a knockout drug into some poor girl's drink and then raping her is not cool. I hope to God they're over 16.
They are.
Good. Give them life.
Gail said that's Amber's mother calling, the famous columnist.
Did she?
Yeah. Sit down. It's cold out here. I smoke in the sunroom because of the kids.
Oh, it's fine.
So I said, well, looks like we have to talk to someone, so let's talk to her.
I appreciate it. I know it's been terrible for Gail, for everyone.
Yeah.
This cop friend of mine, he tells me these date rape drugs are showing up all over the place. So I thought the word needs to get out to protect other kids.
Sure. She won't talk to you, you know.
Yes. Well, that's what you said. It's been what, 3 weeks?
And counting.
Those two boys, she must have remembered enough about that night to say it was them. Is that right?
She couldn't remember anything at first. She was out cold for over 15 hours. But she did start to remember a day or two later. She remembered dancing. She remembered that because even though she goes to most of their dances, she never gets asked to dance. But these two older goth freaks or whatever they are, they started to pay attention to her. They took turns dancing with her. Lots of the kids saw them. It was kind of a joke, I guess. But Gail didn't get it. She thought maybe they liked her. They were getting her to drink out of a can of Coke, laced with rum. And then they just kind of hung around watching her.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
I'm Gail.
Yeah, hi.
I know Amber.
Yes, she was saying she knew you.
When she first came and told people that you were her mother, a lot of kids didn't believe her.
Oh.
They just thought that she was trying to make a name for herself. But I believed her right away.
Well, she said you were really friendly to her. It meant a lot because she was new.
Uh-huh.
But I guess she hasn't seen that much of you in a while.
No. Well, I mean, Amber's special. She's a really cool kid, you know. She's really pretty and really smart. So I knew she'd, make other friends and stuff, you know. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I parked just over there.
By that tree?
That's right.
Well, that's about as far away from the school as you can get, isn't it?
Chaperoning dances is tough enough. I didn't want my car to be front and center. Sometimes teachers' cars are targeted for abuse. I thought it would be less conspicuous.
And that's probably why they used your car.
Yes.
It must have been very difficult. You found her, right?
After the dance, when I went back to my car, as soon as I saw her, and I didn't
see her, if you know what I mean. I immediately went back into the school. Mr. Hunter and Miss Adams, 2 other teachers, and the policemen who had been hired for security were just leaving. They accompanied me. Miss Adams put the girl's clothes back on. She couldn't wake her up. So the policeman called an ambulance.
And at this time, you thought she was just drunk and had passed out?
We all did. Until we heard about the drug test. It's horrible.
And how did they get into your car? Was it broken into?
No.
No? Then how did they get in?
It was stupid of me. I guess I left it unlocked.
Unlocked?
And my mind must have been miles away. It does that.
Yeah, mine too. There's talk about 2 boys that go to your school who gave her a rum-spiked can of Coke to drink. Do you know these kids?
No, I'm not at liberty to talk about anyone.
I'm just asking if you know them.
Well, everyone knows it. They are rather conspicuously made up and dressed. They like attention.
Well, not the kind they're getting now, though.
No.
So, did you see Gail Deschamps at the dance?
You can't use her name. She's a minor.
I'm aware of that. I'm just wondering if you saw her during the dance.
I believe I remember speaking to her briefly. She's kind of a sad kid. She was by herself. I was just trying to be kind.
What time was this?
I think around 9 o'clock.
Did she seem sober to you?
Gail talks in monosyllables, if at all. I didn't notice anything unusual or different about her. I just said hello and asked her how she was doing. She said, okay.
That's 2 syllables.
Yes, it is.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Uh-huh. Who all's going?
Just Suini.
Early show?
No one goes to the early show, Mom. I'll be home by 12.
Yes, you will.
I just said that.
And I'm agreeing.
You are really getting into this mom thing, aren't you?
I guess so.
4 more months and I'm home to Vancouver.
I know.
It's been kind of okay. You and I living together for once. Hasn't it?
Oh, sweetheart, are you kidding? It's been much, much more than okay. Oh, come here. Oh, I'll squeeze you to death. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Could have happened sooner.
Yes, I know. What can I say, other than that your mother is stupid, egomaniac, drunk, was a drunk. God, what a list.
One of my teachers described you as a role model for all young women.
Ha!
That's what I thought, too.
Hey.
I'm kidding. You've accomplished a lot. You really have.
All right, well, let's not go there, okay? All I know is I love you to pieces.
Me too.
Okay, so buzz off to your movie, why don't you?
Hi.
Officer Slater?
Yes, ma'am.
Peggy Delaney.
I recognize you. From your picture in the paper. We can sit here in reception.
So, what I really wanted to ask you, you were the paid duty officer at that dance.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you happen to notice Gail Deschamps earlier in the evening? I mean, before you were called out to Mr. Samuel's car.
No.
Well, some kids have been saying that she was wandering around looking drunk for most of the night, which fits with what I've been reading. It takes some time for these drugs to work, 2 hours or so. You know, victims get increasingly dizzy, unsteady on their feet, slurring their words. But you didn't notice Gail Deschamps.
What you have to realize, ma'am, it's a crush of kids. All talking at the top of their voices. Everyone running around in the dark. The music's deafening, strobe lights flashing off and on, so unless somebody passes out, or a fight breaks out, or someone's doing drugs out in the open, there's not a lot I'm going to see. Besides, I'm not really there to make arrests. I'm just there to be kind of an inhibiting presence.
But you're still a cop, even when you're making a little extra money on the side, right?
Right?
And somebody drugged this kid to the point of her passing out somewhere, carried her out to the parking lot, and raped her on your watch, right?
That's right.
Oh, you must feel badly.
Of course I do.
Did you happen, in all that crush, to notice two boys with long hair, black lipstick, black overcoats?
I do remember them.
When did you first notice them? Because a student I know seems to remember that the Goths didn't arrive till after 11 or so. The dance ended at 12, and Mr. Samuels found Gail shortly afterwards. The time frame doesn't fit too well, that's all, you know. For these boys to have been the culprits, I mean.
Well, maybe the time frame differs, depending on how much of that drug you take, or how big, or how small you happen to be. Of course, I'm just a dumb cop.
Carlos Zabo, I presume.
Peggy Delaney.
I love saying your name. Carlos Zabo. This must be my cop night.
Oh?
I was just talking to Officer Slater, who was chaperoning that dance.
Oh, yeah.
I must have said the wrong thing. He got his back up.
What'd you say?
Nothing much. Well, I might have implied that he could at least feel just a little bit badly about what happened to that girl, instead of sitting there like a half-ton of cement. Cops hate me.
Not all cops.
Oh, I know what you're going to say now.
What?
That if you guys let out your real feelings every time something awful happened to someone, you'd all be basket cases within a year.
I was going to say, you look great. Sharp. Sexy. Well, I guess I won't now.
What do you mean, sharp? What kind of word is that?
Just your clothes, energy, you know, nice energy.
Mm-hmm. And what are you drinking?
Rye, meat.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
Doesn't bother you, does it? You said the other night.
Having a drink in front of me? No. Well, I lie a lot.
I'll bitch you.
No, don't. Carlos, I'm kidding.
Okay.
That didn't take much encouragement.
Well, does it bother you or doesn't it? You have to be straight with me.
No, I don't.
My head doesn't compute mixed messages very well.
Uh-huh.
Well, you look great.
So do you.
Get over the Leafs losing?
Yeah,
Me too.
I like being there with you. It was pretty cool.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I hadn't been asked out to a hockey game in about a zillion years.
I had free tickets.
I know. Carlos,
What?
what'd you find out?
Jesus. I hope you know. If my inspector discovers I'm giving you information, I'm toast.
Yeah, so what'd you find out?
You first.
Well, I talked to this Mr. Samuels, the teacher who found the girl in the back of his car. He's, there's something there.
Like?
Well, for one thing, he went on about how kids target teachers' cars, so he parked it at the very back of the parking lot. But he forgot to lock the doors. That doesn't make sense, does it? And whoever molested that girl, well, they were really lucky. The most secluded car just happened to be unlocked.
So you're what? Suggesting this teacher might have done it?
I'm speculating.
Then why would he be so dumb as to leave her in his car?
Well, maybe because it would be such an obviously dumb thing to do. It's actually very smart. What are you smiling about?
Nothing.
Are you being condescending?
No. Just like to watch you. They got the pop can.
What?
Yeah, they took all the trash barrels out of the school, sorted through all the pop cans, and the lab came up with one, with traces of rodent and all.
There it is, then. She was drugged at the school.
Yeah, looks like it.
Just like she said, the Goths with their rum and coke.
Sprite.
Pardon?
According to my info, there was a can of Sprite.
bought a can of Sprite.
When?
Well, as soon as I got there, I guess. I usually do. I get nervous. It gives me something to do.
Was it open?
No, it was out of the cooler. It wasn't Sprite, you know. It was in a can of Coke.
No, it wasn't. They found traces of that drug, all right, but it was in a can of Sprite.
It was?
Gail, do you remember who else you were talking to besides those two boys?
But they did it. I know it was them. Anyway, I didn't talk to anybody else.
No one at all? The whole night?
No. Well, except Mr. Samuels. But he's my history teacher, and he came up to me. So I talked to him for a little while.
How long's a little while?
I don't know, a minute or two, I guess. And then I just stood there by myself, just kind of watching the kids dance and stuff. And then I went outside to have a smoke.
After you finished the Sprite, what did you do with the empty can?
Oh, I don't know. I think I tossed it into this barrel outside by the...
Before you danced with those boys?
Yeah. You know, I think I was feeling a little bit funny. Even before I danced with them, though. Kind of lightheaded. I guess I thought I was just smoking too much. And then they came up to me with their black lipstick and eyeliner and rum in their Coke. And everything else, and I nearly died. They just kind of dragged me onto the floor, and then everything got really dizzy. Because they were whirling me around and around and around.
Gail, let's go right back. You walk into the school gym, go to the cooler, open the can of Sprite. You sip on it, stand around, and then you talk to Mr. Samuels?
Yeah.
And then you feel like a smoke. So you what? Walk down the hall?
To a back door. Out behind the school where everybody goes to smoke.
And where exactly do you stand?
Right outside the door. But I was sitting on a cement ledge by the stairs.
Okay, so you light a cigarette.
Uh-huh.
You put the pop can down?
I guess I did for a little bit.
Talk to anyone? Say, Mr. Samuels again?
No. Well, this cop came out and everybody scattered. Smoking on school property isn't allowed. But I'd already finished, so I just sat there.
What did the cop do?
He just said hi. He said he knew everyone was smoking out there. He said that's what he used to do when he was in school. He was kind of nice.
Was he sipping on a pop, too?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Sprite?
I don't know.
Did he stand right beside you?
Yeah.
And your pop was?
Sitting on the ledge, somewhere beside me.
Right. He switched them.
Point the flashlight over here.
Where?
Over here. I want to check behind these old paint cans. Crap.
I'm sorry.
I must be out of my mind. We're investigating one of our own cops. And Peggy Delaney, of all people, is standing in the guy's garage, helping me. Someone saved me from myself.
It's not that bad.
Yes, it is.
I just happened to arrive at his house to ask him some more questions. At the same time, you and those two other guys,
Detectives.
detectives, were searching through his house and his property. That's called a coincidence.
No, that's called trouble. Besides, you're not a coincidence. You're getting to be a habit.
Am I supposed to feel sorry for you? Besides, I'm the one who connected Slater to that can of Sprite, so I belong here.
Turn off the flashlight.
Why? All right. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Things that you're doing.
We should go somewhere.
Like Okay. Whoa.
Whoa.
Uh-huh. I can't. I told you, remember? Amber.
Oh. Yeah.
It would destroy everything. She wouldn't understand.
How would she know?
Are you just thinking of a one-night stand?
No.
Then she'd know. Believe me, she'd know. She's only here for 4 more months.
Right.
Then back to her dad in Vancouver. So, that's not so long.
No.
Carlos, I'm turning the flashlight back on. Look for incriminating evidence, would you?
Yeah. Incriminating evidence. Sure. Point the damn light on that ladder. Over there. There's an old tarp over some boards in the rafters. I guess I could take a look.
Be careful.
Uh-huh.
Carlos? Well? Did you find anything?
Yeah. Raccoon shit. I'm coming down.
Why would he keep that stuff around anyway? I mean, he'd have to consider the possibility that he might be a suspect, too.
That makes sense. Except, see what I've got?
What?
Shine the light. 2 bottles full of Rohypnol. Imported from Mexico, probably.
Oh, Jesus.
10 times as powerful a sedative as Valium. I just smelled this stuff. It's Rohypnol, all right. Never underestimate the compulsion of the criminal mind to repeat the crime again and...
Who's that?
Our boy, I guess.
His headlights. He's going to see us, Carlos.
Stay behind me. Get out of sight.
Hey, you. Who the hell are you? What are you doing in there?
Detective Carlo Zabo, Toronto Police. Constable Slater?
Yeah?
Constable, your house is being searched by Detectives Lee and Colson from internal affairs.
What? What the hell for? Why? I haven't done anything.
Last September 24th, you were back up on the arrest of 3 men accused of importing and selling Rohypnol and using it themselves as a date rape drug. Do you recall that?
Not really. So what?
So, I'm just guessing. But I have a hunch some of that Rohypnol never made it down to lockup. These bottles belong to you?
No. Why? You find them somewhere? Oh, I get it. You found them here. They're a plant. That's all they are. What's going on? You planted them, man.
I don't think so. What I think is, you slipped the lock on a teacher's car, and you raped a 15-year-old girl.
Are you out of your goddamn...
And that teacher was so terrified.
What the hell are you doing here?
So terrified that someone might think it was him. He lied and said he left his car unlocked.
Like I said, Detective, what's this bitch doing here?
Just curious to see what the scum of the earth looks like. Hi, Slater.
Cinderella Cleaning, where every day is Snow White. Hello? No.
Hi, Bertie.
That's the 10th time I've been asked if I own this building. Real estate developers. You're not going to smoke that thing, are you?
I've met somebody.
You are going to smoke that thing. Point it the other way, will you?
Bernie, I've met somebody.
Yeah? Oh, you mean you've met somebody?
Yes. He's separated. He has a little daughter. He's been living on his own for about 6 months.
Uh-huh.
He's a great guy. He really is. And for one thing, he's honest. He told me about his situation. Just so I'd know, even before we went out the first time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's the most grounded, practical, real person I've ever met in my entire life.
Which isn't saying that much, as I recall.
His hair is thick. It's so black. It's almost blue. His skin's olive-colored.
Olive-colored. That's green, isn't it?
It's really bad timing with Amber. She is the most important person in the world.
Of course she is.
It would be the worst thing. I can't start up with someone now.
Particularly knowing how enthusiastic you can get.
Right. So I'll just... Well, Carlos and I we'll just wait. Stop me, Bernie.
You've been listening to Odd Girl Out, the latest in the Peggy Delaney series, written by James W. Nichol. Featured in the cast, Kyra Harper as Peggy, Katerina Scorsone as Amber, John Stalker as Bernie Snyderman, George Buza as Detective Carlos Chabot. Kim Renders was Dawn, and Rachel Clark was Gail, and with them you also heard Brian Paul as Mr. Samuels and Chuck Campbell as Ron Slater. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka. The recording engineer was Drago Grandich. Sound effects by Matt Wilcott. Colleen Woods was the associate producer. Coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. The program was produced and directed in Toronto by Bill Howell, who is also the executive producer of The Mystery Project. You can also hear Peggy Delaney on The Mystery Project Saturday evenings after The World This Weekend.
Hi, gang. Bob Boving here with The Mystery Project, where our series is the continuation of Peggy Delaney, written by James W. Nichol. A search for a human interest story lands Peggy in the middle of a murder investigation. She also finds a new friend, now that Nick has left town, a police detective. Kyra Harper stars as Peggy Delaney in A Death in the Family.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, communist, cop-loving, cop-hating, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, pretend anti-establishment, crypto-Bay Street swamp pig, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
I couldn't agree more. I mean about the quasi-democracy part. This is J.J. Mars, responding to your request, and yes, with certain provisions, you can speak to my client. Ordinarily, I would have to say no, but as I recall, I do owe you one.
Hi there, J.J.
Ms. Delaney, delighted. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. It was nice of you to remember how clever I was and how much of a help I was to you when Bernie's little friend got himself in a pickle.
How could I forget?
So, how have you been?
Fine. Sit down. You?
Well, the Trib's been bought up by Core News International. All my friends are getting pink slips. I'll probably be next. But other than that, I guess I'm fine too. Can you smoke in here?
No.
Can I smoke in here?
Well, I'd prefer you didn't. I don't have an ashtray.
So, Jenny Kazan?
Yes, Jenny Kazan. Well, it's early days. I've only met with her twice myself. So, what is it exactly that you want to ask her?
Well, the standard, what's it feel like? Isn't that what we always ask? How's it feel to be 22 years old, 9,000 miles away from home, impoverished, working as a nanny, hoping for a better life, and charged with murder?
Human interest stuff, then.
Uh-huh.
But what's your angle exactly? You're not known for writing without a point of view, and I would hope that you'd be, at the very least, sympathetic to my client's plight.
You sure I can't smoke?
I'm positive. Why? Are we bargaining already?
No, I'm having a nicotine fit.
Oh.
Look, I want to put a human face on one more gruesome, bad news front-page story.
Admirable. Is that all?
I'm not going to assassinate your client in my column. The human condition, JJ. That's all I'm after.
All there is factories there.
Mm-hmm. How much time?
I have an hour, then she's back to lockup. I'll give you 10 minutes.
So, this was near Manila where you were living, Jenny?
Yes. Everybody works in the factories there. They work for $7, $8 American dollars a day. It's very hard there.
And how much were you making at the Ryans?
I was paid $120 a week. And my room and board.
And what did you have to do to earn that money?
I had to look after that baby. And do the wash and cook the meals and clean the house.
40 hours a week?
No, more. But I don't complain. I don't understand.
This could be helpful to us if we have to go to trial, Jenny. The public's perception of you is important, and jurors don't live in isolation.
But I didn't do anything.
The police think you did, and they must be sure of themselves, or they wouldn't have brought down a charge so quickly.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting off track. Now, why don't we talk about Jenny's family? I believe she has 8 brothers and sisters at home and a sick father. Isn't that
But I didn't hurt that baby. I wouldn't.
Then tell me what happened.
Now, wait a minute. Mrs. Delaney, she's already been charged. You can't go public with anything material now that might come up at the trial later. So what's the point?
The point is, I'm not going to write about a generic Filipino nanny. I'm going to write about a specific person. Jenny Caisson, if I write about anything at all. So I have to hear her. The point is, if you want me on her side, I have to know her side. That's the point.
In the interests of my client, I reserve the right to terminate this interview at any time.
Okay. So, Jenny, what happened?
I heard the baby crying.
Jason.
Yes.
He's the Ryan's only child? Or was?
Yes. It was about 12:30 or maybe 1 in the morning. He usually woke up about then. So I got up and went into his room and picked him up.
Were you sleeping?
Yes. I sleep right next to the baby's room. He woke me, and I took him down to the kitchen with me, and I heated a bottle. And then I took him back to his room and changed him and tucked him in. That's how I left him.
With his bottle?
Yes. Usually, he wouldn't drink all of it, just a little. And then he'd fall back to sleep.
How old was the baby?
11 months. He was balancing on his own. He was going to walk. I fell back to sleep. I didn't wake up again until I heard Mrs. Ryan screaming. I jumped out of the bed and I went out into the hall. Mr. Ryan was already running towards the baby's room. And he told me to go back and get dressed. So I did. And then when I came back out, I saw Mrs. Ryan running down the stairs, holding Jason. I went downstairs too, but they had already rushed outside to the car. I went back upstairs again. I went into my room. I prayed. I prayed and prayed until the police came. And they questioned me. All these questions. Then they took me out the house and down to a police station. And then they took me down here to jail. But I wouldn't hurt their baby.
Hurt? Murdered, you mean? Strangled to death, wasn't he?
Yes.
Hello?
Is this Boise, Idaho?
What?
I'd like to order a ton of mashed potatoes, please.
It's you. I thought I'd finally ditched you.
No such luck. How's everything going, Nick?
Yeah, there's a foot of snow outside. My mother's threatening to move from the nursing home back here, and the doctor says I've got hives.
Swell. Anything on a new job?
No. Have you been fired yet?
Not yet. I miss you.
I miss you too. I guess.
I've got a favor to ask you.
Of course you do.
Do you know a Detective David Lee or a Detective Carlos Szabo in homicide?
I know Szabo pretty well. Why?
He's working a case I'm interested in. I just need an intro.
You want me to call Carlos Szabo and ask him to talk to Peggy Delaney? Are you kidding? You're not exactly the Metro Toronto Police Association's poster girl.
Amber and I'll come visit you when I take her home to Vancouver in the summer.
Really? Well, I think I'd appreciate that.
Detective Szabo, I presume?
Yes.
Well, your secretary was right. That yellow tie works every time.
That was no secretary. That was a lieutenant.
Oh. Well, whatever. Can I sit down?
Well, sure.
You were expecting me, weren't you? The lieutenant person, she said you had a break between 2 court cases and we'd meet in the coffee shop, right?
You're,
Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune?
Well, what do you know? So you are.
Nick Bauer did call you, didn't he? He told you about me?
Good old Nick. He didn't say Peggy Delaney, though. He said Peggy McGillicuddy.
McGillicuddy?
Yeah, he said you needed a break. You were a young reporter.
Well, at least he got that part right. The absolute bum. Look, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Anyway, this could be a lot more interesting.
Than what?
Than anything else I'm likely to do today.
Do you mind if I smoke?
Puff away.
Well, thanks, officer.
I'll have to give you a ticket.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Oh, well.
How come you hate cops so much?
I don't hate cops. It's just that sometimes you guys do dumb things, and you think no one has the right to question anything you might do. So I question. That's my job. But generally, as a whole, you do a crummy, thankless, irritating job in a more or less acceptable manner.
I've got goosebumps. How about sometime I tell you what the job of being a cop is really all about?
The party line, the serve and protect stuff?
No, the real stuff.
Okay. But right now, I'd like to talk about Jenny Casson.
Shoot.
Well, I just don't get it.
What don't you get?
The why of it. Usually it's in a fit of uncontrollable temper, isn't it? Or it's the action of some demented, sadistic creep. And always when they're alone with the child, not with the parents still in the house.
Well, there's no rule book that I know of.
No, I know.
Sometimes logic has nothing to do with it. People do things. They hear voices, or they just can't think straight. They're not in the real world.
You think Jenny Casson is crazy?
No. Strangling an 11-month-old baby is not a sane act, no matter how you look at it.
But no inkling of a motive? Nothing at all?
The husband wasn't satisfied with her work. He was going to let her go. Maybe she knew.
Why wasn't he satisfied?
Just didn't think she was doing a good job. The mother says the same thing.
And that's a sufficient motive to kill their kid? She told me she was asleep. The first thing she heard was the mother screaming.
No, that's her side of it.
And the other side?
Off the record?
Off the record.
The mother got up to go to the can. She was coming back at the end of the hall when she saw Jenny Kazan come out of the baby's bedroom, then run back to her own bedroom and close the door. The fact that she was moving so quickly alarmed the mother. She went into the baby's room and found her son. He was still warm and he was dead.
What's Jenny charged with exactly?
Well, we started with manslaughter to hold her. It's only been 5 days. We're still gathering evidence. So...
Funny Jenny didn't hear the mother in the bathroom.
It's possible. It's an old house. The bathroom's around a turn at the end of the hall, and there's plush broadloom everywhere.
So she saw Jenny.
Mm-hmm. Jenny in her flannel pajamas and bare feet coming out of the baby's room. Then on the half run, looking guilty of something, going back to her bedroom and closing the door.
So what's bothering you?
What, do I look like something's bothering me?
Yes.
It's nothing.
I canceled all my patients this week, but, well, I find it makes the time go by just working around the office.
Yeah, well, it was very kind of you to agree to see me.
Oh, well, can you imagine? We can't even bury him yet. They haven't released him. My son.
I'm sure it must be terrible.
It's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. I understand your wife is still in hospital?
Mm-hmm. And she will be for some little while, I think.
As I said on the phone, I won't take much of your time.
Take as much as you like. Anything to get me out of my own head. I'm sorry, it's not that you're just anybody.
No, I understand. What I don't understand, though, is why Jenny Casson would do such a thing.
Me either. I just don't know.
A source of mine said you were about to give her notice. Had you talked to her about letting her go?
Yes.
Do you think that could be it?
I really don't know.
That night, when your wife found the baby, when you went down the hall, Jenny came out of her room. You told her to go back and get dressed. Is that correct?
I thought you were interested in the references and background information we had on Jenny before we hired. Isn't that what you said?
I am, but I'm just curious why you'd ask her to go and get dressed. You all live together. There's an emergency, so Jenny's in her pajamas, so what?
Well, she wasn't in her pajamas.
Oh?
She was in a T-shirt and panties. So I just said, get dressed, just automatically, you know.
Were you aware in your wife's statement to the police that she said Jenny was wearing flannel pajamas?
No.
I guess you were interviewed separately?
Yes.
Two pair? Why? One with pink stripes, one with blue small flowers.
The kind with trousers? Not a nightie?
Yes. But why?
So you alternate them, wearing one or the other all the time?
Yes.
So which one were you wearing the night Jason Ryan died? When Dr. Ryan told you to go back in your room and get dressed?
Jenny, did the police ask you what you were wearing?
No.
I think you better answer this for your own good. Jenny?
I was wearing a T-shirt and panties.
Why didn't you say this before?
Because I didn't know it was important. I didn't know what Mrs. Ryan was saying other than that I killed Jason.
Did you run around the house often in a T-shirt?
No, never.
Well, then, why weren't you wearing the pajamas?
Because the blue pair, they were in the dirty clothes.
And the other? The pink ones? Why weren't you wearing them?
Because they were ripped.
How did they get ripped?
Jenny?
Dr. Ryan, the night before, when Mrs. Ryan wasn't there, he ripped them.
Why?
Because I said I was leaving. that I didn't want to anymore.
Want to?
Stay quiet and just let him do what he was doing to me. All the time. I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was just going to go away. So he got mad and ripped my pajamas and did it anyway.
Why didn't you say this was going on? Why have you kept silent?
Because I thought people would think I was bad, an evil person, and that if I was jealous of his wife, that I might have killed his baby.
And did you?
No!
It's just dreadful. It's beyond imagination, really.
Well, not everyone's imagination. That's the scary part.
Yes. She'd been there for about 6 months. I can remember Grace coming into my office and saying that they'd finally found a girl they both really liked. And she was crazy. She was just crazy.
Have you been to the hospital to see Grace yet?
Twice. The first time she was so heavily sedated, I just sat there with her for an hour or so, holding her hand. There was no point talking. And I dropped in last night. She's holding on, I guess. I'm very afraid for her.
Was Dr. Ryan there?
Yes. He looked shell-shocked. Just terrible.
Well, is he a dentist?
Why?
Oh, no reason. I just wondered.
Well, yes. I switched to Eric when I got to know Grace.
So, what kind of a guy is he? I mean, normally, before this.
Oh, lots of fun. He's always on the go. Yachting, skiing. The last time I went in to see him, he was taking up scuba diving.
Is Grace normally, is she a fun person too?
No, I wouldn't describe her that way. She has a whimsical sense of humor, but she's, deeper, I guess. Broody. The arty type. She designs our top 3 lines of clothes, you know. She's terrific. But a bit fragile, too.
Oh, in what way?
Well, that's why I'm worried about her. She's not the greatest at coping. This isn't going to get into the paper, is it?
Not if you don't want it to.
I don't.
All right.
Well, it's just that a couple of years ago, Eric, he had an affair with someone. Who knows who. But she found out, and it just about killed her. She stopped eating.
No kidding.
They patched things up somehow. I guess that's what having the baby was for. A fresh start. And that's why I'm so worried about her now. She didn't do so well after the baby was born either.
What do you mean?
Well, she had a really hard time. She suffered from... Her doctor called it a full-blown case of postpartum depression. She told me it was like being at the bottom of a well with no way out. She had to be hospitalized then, too.
Did she talk much about Jenny Casson?
No. Not to me, anyway. Just that she was a likable girl, and that she trusted her.
Not in this one.
Well, she said she threw them in the garbage. Keep looking.
Okay. Grapefruit rinds, coffee grinds, empty box. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
Pink pajamas, rolled up, and the shirt's ripped, almost in half, right down the front.
Jenny, you only have to answer what I want you to answer. I'll nod or I'll interrupt.
Yes.
And everything is off the record.
I know.
Jenny, the sexual relationship that you had with Dr. Ryan...
A relationship?
No. Do you know whether Mrs. Ryan was aware of what her husband was doing to you?
I don't know.
Did he touch you sometimes or go into your room when she was in the house?
No. She worked. Lots of times at night. He'd wait until she worked.
She could have come home early, though, seen something through a window. Well, particularly if she was the suspicious type.
Jenny, I'm curious about two things. One, you say you got up to give the baby a bottle between 12:30 and 1 a.m. because he was crying?
That's right.
Were you asleep?
Yes.
Well, how did you hear him?
You can always hear a crying baby. And I have a monitor beside my bed.
And two, you said you left the bottle with the baby. That he usually falls asleep and the bottle just, rolls to the side beside him?
Yes.
So, Jenny, if the baby monitor is right beside your bed, then why didn't you hear something when this child was being strangled to death?
I don't know.
So, what are you smiling about?
Who's smiling?
You are, ever since you took that phone call.
Off the record.
Oh, Jesus, how can I work this way? Okay.
The baby bottle wasn't in the crib. It was sitting on a change table on the other side of the room.
Oh?
So I wondered, why would Mrs. Ryan, finding her baby lifeless, bother to pick up the bottle and place it over there? She was already alarmed when she went into the room, so she'd snatch her baby right up into her arms, wouldn't she?
That's what was bothering you?
Yeah. Enough to visit the hospital and lift her drinking glass. That call was from forensics. They matched Mrs. Ryan's fingerprints with prints on the baby bottle. The prints that were on top of Jenny Kazan's fingerprints. So she was the last one to touch that bottle.
But she could have moved it after she found her baby dead and not before. That's conceivable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of an alternate explanation. And why she was wrong about what Jenny was wearing that night. She's that baby's mother. It's mother. I mean, it just doesn't compute that she'd kill it. Or maybe I just don't want it to compute.
The baby monitor sat on a shelf right above the crib. Somebody had turned it off. Know whose thumb and index fingerprints are on the control knob? Clear as an X-ray?
Oh. God. Hello?
Dr. Letterman to post-op, please.
Hi.
Dr. Letterman to post-op.
Mrs. Ryan?
Yes?
I'm Peggy Delaney from the Toronto Trib.
Of course you are. My husband said you might be around.
Is it okay if I sit down?
I don't know. Is it?
Thanks. I remember when they used to allow smoking in lounges in hospitals.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Did your husband say why I might be around?
No. He just stared at me and looked confused about everything.
Right. I'm really so sorry about your son and what happened to him.
So am I.
You have been listening to A Death in the Family, the latest in our series of Peggy Delaney by James W. Nichol. Featured in the cast tonight, Kyra Harper as Peggy, Katerina Scorsone as Amber, George Buza as Detective Carlos Szabo, Martin Doyle as J.J. Mars, Susan Aceron as Jenny, J.W. Carroll as Nick. With them, you also heard Scott Denton as Dr. Ryan, Amanda Hancock as Grace Ryan, and Michelle Fisk as Barbara. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kinlica. The recording engineer was Drago Grandich. Sound effects were by Matt Wilcott. Sandra Breitman was the associate producer. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. The program was produced and directed in Toronto by Bill Howell, the executive producer of The Mystery Project. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments. See you next week. Hi, gang. Bob Boving here with The Mystery Project. In the opening segment, Peggy's paper has just been sold to new owners. Jobs are gone, and there are personal incidents of hardship, disruption, and one that is distinctly peculiar. Kyra Harper stars as Peggy Delaney in a story called Pink Slips.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, feel free now. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, communist, cop-loving, cop-hating, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, pretend anti-establishment, crypto-Bay Street swamp pig, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
Says who? Not from where I'm standing. Just to let you know, I'll be there in case you were wondering. 7 o'clock, your place, right?
Sammy, get off the table.
I thought he was dessert.
It's a possibility if he doesn't get his tail out of the butter.
Come here, Sammy. Apple pie. And ice cream.
Jesus, I'm going to need an ambulance.
Well, Amber and I figured you for a meat and potatoes, pie and ice cream kind of guy, Nick.
You figured right. But being a bachelor, only when I invite myself out to a restaurant every third Sunday night.
Really? That organized?
Not organized. Depressing, isn't it?
No, it's just organized.
Boise, Idaho. So what's it like there?
Have you ever seen a potato?
Yeah.
Well, that's about it.
I predict 6 months back home in Boise, you'll be back to your usual piss and vinegar self. And the next thing you know, you'll be standing in a newsroom in Los Angeles or Richmond or Tampa.
Tampa?
Doing what you were born to do and being what you are. The very best hard news reporter in the business.
Your mother's a big help, Amber. She must have been a cheerleader in another life.
Yeah, that's hard to imagine.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying. I appreciate it. But for now, I hate to admit it, but I'm looking forward to sleeping in my old room again. Looking out the window and seeing if the neighbor's apple tree is still there where it used to be when I was 10 years old. I guess I'm tired. Maybe being fired makes you tired. Especially when you can't afford to retire and you're 60 years old.
You'll find another job, Nick. Because you are the best. And everybody in the business knows it.
I was one of the best. Yeah. I think I was.
I think Nick's the coolest old guy.
Why?
He just says what he feels. And he doesn't put on a big act or anything. If some people just got fired, they'd, I don't know, pretend they didn't care, or they'd be complaining about how stupid everybody is that fired them.
So, that was nice of you to volunteer to help Nick and me pack up his stuff.
Oh, it's Teacher's Development Day. I'm not doing anything. Is that the last day?
Uh-huh.
And you're so out of shape. You could have a heart attack or something.
Oh, well, thanks, I guess.
Now that you've stopped drinking, you should stop smoking, too.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving yourself cancer. And you're probably giving me cancer.
What time did we say we go over to Nick's tomorrow?
Around 10 in the morning, but we'd call in first. You're changing the subject.
10? That's early, isn't it? God, why did we say that? I'll go smoke in the den.
And you're probably giving Sammy cancer, too.
Come on, Nick, for God's sakes.
Isn't he answering his buzzer either?
No.
It's almost noon. Where is he?
I'm not psychic, Amber. I don't know.
Do you think he's up in his apartment? He's sick or something?
I hope not. Where did he eat last?
Our place.
Exactly.
So what do we do now?
Oh, we're only talking a couple of hours. He could be anywhere. He could have forgotten.
You said it's not like him to forget. And you said it's not like him not to call if he had a change of plans.
I know.
We've waited all morning for him to return our calls.
Yeah. It was brutal.
What?
How they fired him. They met him at the front door. 2 outside people, specialists, hired to do these things, you know. So I just get nervous. Nick falling off the wagon after 20 years, drunk as a skunk somewhere. Or Nick just giving up on everything and wandering off. Or Nick...
Nick what?
No, it's only been a couple of hours. He's probably gone somewhere to get more cardboard cartons.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, Nick hurting himself?
No, of course not. That's out of the question.
Yes, it is. It's out of the question.
Uh-huh.
We should call the police.
Who's this?
Who?
Walking up behind us. She's turning into the house. Come on. Hello there. Good morning.
Oh. Hello.
Hi.
Here, let me hold that door open for you. We're just going upstairs to see Nick.
Whom?
Mr. Bauer. He's a friend of ours?
Oh. I understand your friend is moving.
Yes, that's right.
Can't say I blame him. Good day.
Good day.
How many apartments are in this house anyway?
3. Upstairs, downstairs, and 1 in the basement.
So what are we gonna do?
Pound on his door. Maybe the downstairs buzzer doesn't, Oh.
What?
It's just... his door's open a little. See?
That's weird.
Nick? Hey, Nick? Are you in there? Nick? Let's go in.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Why not?
Well, because it's private.
So what? Under these circumstances, we can go where we like.
What circumstances?
Nick? Hey, Nick?
Is he in there?
I don't think so. I'll check the bedroom.
I feel like I'm violating his space or something. Mom. Mom!
It's okay.
Is he in there?
No. God, look at all the cartons. Doesn't look like he's packed anything yet.
He must have been waiting for us.
Uh-huh. Something's not right.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, I mean, I know what it is. Where's his computer? Where's his printer, his fax machine? Where's his stereo?
Well, maybe he packed them first. Maybe that's where he is. He's moving them separately so they don't get broken or something.
Moving them to where? He's going to Boise, Idaho. The movers are supposed to be here tomorrow. There'd be no reason to move them somewhere else today, would there?
Well, maybe he's out of money. Maybe he's hawking them.
Hawking them? I don't think he's that badly off, not yet. He got 3 months severance pay.
So are you saying someone stole his stereo and stuff?
I just can't imagine why everything's missing, that's all. Or why he left his door open. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to start filling these cartons until he shows up. Maybe that's all this is. Maybe it's a setup for us to do all the work. What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. Just, he just left a list of phone numbers here by the phone. So.
Isn't that private?
Yes, Mom, I shouldn't have looked.
Oh, but you couldn't help yourself.
They're kind of, different, that's all.
Huh? Let's see. Tiffany, Nicole, Star, Madonna, Mandy?
Funny names, aren't they?
Yeah.
I, wonder who they are.
Well, I wonder. What kind of phone does he have?
Why?
Does it record incoming numbers? Yeah, he's got messages, too.
There's all our phone calls. 11:20 this morning, 11:10, 9:30, and one came in at 1:10 last night.
Let's see that list of names again. Uh-oh.
What?
That's Mandy's number. She called him at 1 this morning. I wonder if she left a message.
Mom, this isn't right.
It's okay. I'm an investigative reporter.
No, you're not. You're a columnist. What if Nick comes?
Mr. Bauer, it's Miss Stedman downstairs. I'm sorry to bother you again, but they haven't stopped. Perhaps you could talk to Mr. Harmon before you leave. He pays absolutely no attention to me, and dust is everywhere. I'm going over to my sister's. Thank you so much.
Hello? Hello? If you're listening to this, pick up the phone, please. I'm calling for Nick. He has an urgent message for you, so you pick up the phone, please. If you're there, Nick needs to speak to you right now. Pick up.
Hi, Nick. It's me, as promised.
Jesus. What urgent message is she talking about?
And who is she anyway? She's not who I think she is she? I mean, all those names sound like hookers or something. I mean, why wouldn't... I don't believe it.
Believe what?
He wouldn't have anything to do with people like that. He's not that kind of person.
Well, I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation.
There is. But like what?
Like, well, maybe Nick was working on an article about call girls before he was fired. He was doing research. Something's happened to him.
That's why, you see, I spent the night with my sister. She lives in Etobicoke. It's quiet there.
Oh. So when was the last time you saw Nick?
Oh, that would be 2 days ago. He spoke to those black people down in the basement about the music. It lifts dust right off my floor. I can't breathe. But they weren't very polite to him. I was listening at the front door. They said they'd turn that awful racket they play down a little, they said. A little. But I knew they wouldn't. They were downright surly. I don't blame Mr. Bauer. He did his best, and it doesn't bother him so much upstairs, you know, but...
Phew. God, she can talk.
What do you think?
I think I need a cigarette.
But what do you think?
How many guys did she say rent the downstairs?
3.
I guess they could have broken in and stolen his stuff.
Well, so where is he? They could be holding him down in the basement. Nick could be down in that basement right now. Maybe he's hurt or something.
Then how does that call from Mandy fit in? Because it sounded like Nick was with her. And he had an urgent message. But for who? Who the hell was she calling anyway? I mean, Nick lives alone.
We have to do something.
Yeah. I know what I don't want to do. Knock on the door of some black kids and accuse them of stealing Nick's computer and stereo and stuff. I might as well have a white sheet over my head. They said they'd turn their music down a little, in a surly fashion. Big deal. I'd be surly, too. Damn it.
Cinderella Cleaners, where every one of our jobs has a happy ending. Toilet bowl cleanser in the sink. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I'll send Ricky over there right now to assess the damage. Yeah, it sounds like a new sink to me, too. Right away. Bye.
Hi, Bernie. How are things going?
Wonderful.
Great. I'm worried sick. Nick Bauer, my buddy at the trip, he got fired.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be helping him move today, but he's not at his place. I think some stuff has been stolen out of his apartment.
Really?
Yeah, I even talked to these kids down in the basement. They said they didn't know anything about any stolen stuff, but how can I be absolutely sure? Because the front door of the house wasn't forced, and they'd have a key, too.
Yeah, well...
But the thing is, I think Nick's with some hooker.
What?
So unless the kids and the hooker are connected somehow...
What are you doing to my head? What's all this stuff, and what are you talking about?
Well, listen, and you'll understand.
It was so peaceful a minute ago.
I just wanted to see what you thought, that's all.
About what?
Everything. Amber thinks we should go to the police, but I don't want to involve the cops and embarrass Nick if there's nothing really wrong.
How long has he been gone?
Well, I don't know. We were supposed to meet him 4 hours ago.
4 hours. A grown man. 4 hours.
But his stereo and computer and stuff are missing. And he had a message from this call girl, this Mandy, saying he had some urgent message. She's in the back of Now. I looked it up. Her name and number in the sex ads, right there.
Which one?
There.
Yeah, Mandy. Gorgeous redhead, 25, 5'6", 36C, 2434, upscale, very friendly, gentlemen only. In calls 3526689.
He had a message from that number. She called at 1 o'clock last night, saying she had this urgent message from Nick.
Who was she calling?
Well, I don't know, because Nick lives alone.
And the kids in the basement?
Oh, just some kids. Amber's upset. Oh, she says prostitution is gross and stupid, and she says Nick would never visit a prostitute in a million years. She thinks he's researching a story on hookers. I said maybe he's doing a freelance piece for some magazine like Toronto Life.
Is that possible?
You want my honest opinion?
Uh-huh.
Do elephants fly?
Oh, not that I know of. Where is she, anyway?
Sitting at home by the phone, waiting for Nick to call.
She's still staying for the rest of the school year, right?
Yeah. And then back to Daddy in Vancouver. As long as I stay sober, that is. That's the deal between us. And I will. I absolutely will. 2 months and counting.
I know. I'm going to buy you a trophy.
Now she wants me to stop smoking. She's a fanatic.
Yeah, she must be nuts. Point that somewhere else, will you? So, what do you think?
About what?
About your friend and Mandy.
Oh, Nick got caught in this stupid amalgamation between the Toronto Trib and Core News International. So far, 60 people have been pink-slipped. I'm waiting for mine. Who knows? So he was feeling bad and messed up and lonely. That's what I think. Except it wasn't a one-time thing. He has this long list of girls. Madonna and Tiffany, they're on his list too. They're in those ads.
No kidding.
So, I don't know. I just know it's embarrassing. It's Nick's secret. Oh, Jesus.
What?
I just figured out who Mandy was calling.
Who?
No one. She was just making absolutely sure that no one else was in Nick's apartment, that no one would answer the phone, that it was empty.
So someone could go over there and steal his stuff. Because if they had Nick, they'd have his keys too.
Oh, God, yes.
Who do you know who works it now?
Well, a couple of people. Why?
Well, not that I know that much about it, of course, being of a different persuasion, but it says here that Mandy takes in-calls. That means people call her, doesn't it? And she gives them her address, right? So it's no big deal. She's not trying to keep her address secret. And she has to pay now for running her ads. So, where do they send the bills?
Anywhere. Maybe she pays in person. Maybe they send them to a postbox.
And maybe she gave him her address. Why not, if everybody else has it?
Come on.
Come on what? Oh, if you think I'm gonna...
Don't argue, Bernie. Just come on. Okay, it must be the next high-rise. 788 Bigelow, 796.
Why are we doing this? Tell me one more time, would you? To protect Nick. Once we got Mandy's address, we should have called the cops. If the guy's been robbed and held here hostage or something, the cops are not going to charge him as any found-in. That's ridiculous. And if you think...
But we don't know he's been robbed for sure yet, do we? Okay. It's apartment 821. So all we have to do is sit here and wait for someone to come along and unlock the front door. Then follow them inside.
And then what? These people are bad people. What are you going to say? That you're soliciting ads for now?
No. I'm going to say I'm looking for Nick Bauer. And if I don't see him in 5 minutes, my friend down in the parking lot will be calling the cops.
Is that me?
No, of course not. You'll be with me. Yeah. I'm just making that part up.
So you think your sister's got sick?
I'm just afraid, that's all. Like I said, I was talking to her earlier on the phone. She said she was feeling ill, and she hung up. She wouldn't pick up the phone again. I called and called, and now we've been pounding on her door for 5 minutes, haven't we, Bernie?
Uh-huh. And now we're gonna bust in on her.
Because she's sick.
Okay. We'll have a quick look around. Superintendent? Hello? Anyone home? Your sister doesn't have much furniture, does she? She hasn't moved, has she?
No. I'll just check in here. Mandy?
She better not have skipped.
Right. I'll look in this room. Uh-oh.
What?
I think I found your friend.
Nick?
No. Stay there. He's okay. He's fine. He's just, tied to a chair with his mouth taped. And he's naked.
That looks better. Although it was nice of that woman to lend you some of her husband's old clothes for their ride home.
Yeah, nice. Where's Bernie?
He took my car. He had to get back to work. I said I'd call a cab later.
Yeah, they got my video cam and a couple of old Leicas. With everything else, I'd say maybe $20,000 worth of stuff. Before they tied me up, we went on a little drive to an ATM.
Oh, no.
So I could use my credit cards for cash advances.
Oh.
$6,000. Plus, I had about $500 in my wallet and all my other credit cards. God knows what they've been doing with them so far.
Well, that's another reason to call the cops right away.
Yeah, that's another reason. All right. You don't suppose that super's called in the police, do you?
I don't think so. She said the owners don't want any trouble. Police cruisers, cops marching in and out of the place. Your friend was a couple of months behind on her rent, though. She skipped out.
My friend.
You've had one hell of a night, Nick.
Yes, I have. She was about to leave town last night anyway, and then I called. Her boyfriend figured I could provide a kind of going-away present for the both of them. Where's Amber?
Oh, she's at home. I told her you went over there to do some last-minute research on an article. She was just really happy to hear you're okay. She wanted to know whether she should come over now to help pack. I said I thought you'd cancel the movers for a few days anyway.
Uh-huh. Researching a story, you say?
Mm-hmm. Mind if I smoke?
Nope. The only story here is abject humiliation. I didn't even have any clothes.
Nick, look. I've lived my life inside a gin bottle for the last 15 years. When it comes to, I don't know, getting lost, losing a little bit of yourself, maybe, well, you don't have to explain anything to me. I've been there.
Sometimes I'd buy an hour. Sometimes an hour and a half, depending. The first hour or so, just to sit there and talk. An old man, a young girl holding your hands and actually listening to you. The girls are okay, you know. Most of them. They really try. I know it sounds stupid, but it's true. I admire them. In a way. For one thing, they're brave. My life is kind of a desolation right now, Peggy.
I know. I love you, Nick.
Why?
Hi, Amber. I'm home.
Nick just called.
Oh. Well, great.
Yeah. He told me he was sorry that he messed up today and everything. He told me, just for the record, that's how he put it, that he wasn't doing research over at that woman's, that he was a customer, and said that he'd hoped that I'd forgive him for disappointing me.
Oh, honey, he's kind of mixed up right now. He shouldn't have called. He really shouldn't have. So, what did you say?
Nothing much. I just said, sure. I didn't know what else to say.
Of course you didn't.
I thanked him for treating me like a human being, though, and telling me the truth. He said he'd learned that from you, which is, kind of funny, since when you called me, you told me that he was doing research at that woman's.
I was just trying to protect...
Who?
Well, both of you.
Yeah? Well, it's nice to know you tell some people the truth anyway. Sometimes. He wanted to know if he could take us out to supper before he left.
Oh, God. And
I said, it just kind of came out. Not for a little while, but thanks. God, when I hung up, I could have died. It didn't even make any sense.
Well, it makes sense, Amber. And it'll make perfect sense to Nick. It was the absolute right thing to say.
Was it?
Yes.
You have been listening to Pink Slips, the first of our new series of Peggy Delaney by James W. Nichol. Featured in the cast tonight, Kyra Harper as Peggy, Katerina Scorsone as Amber, J.W. Carroll as Nick, and John Stalker as Bernie. With them, you also heard Corinne Conley as Miss Stedman, Burgundy Code as Mandy, and Janet Findell as the woman superintendent. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka. The recording engineer was Drago Grandich. Sound effects were by Matt Wilcott. Colleen Woods was the associate producer. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. The program was produced and directed in Toronto by Bill Howell, the executive producer of The Mystery Project. I'm Bob Boving, thanking you for listening and inviting your comments. See you next week. Hi, gang. Bob Boving here with The Mystery Project, presenting the completion of the first flight of Peggy Delaney, written by James W. Nichol. Peggy's daughter Amber is more like her mother than she wants to admit, and this becomes dangerously apparent tonight. Second Chances, Episode 13 of Peggy Delaney, starring Kyra Harper as Peggy.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, please feel free. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, communist, cop-loving, cop-hating, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, crypto-Bay Street swamp pig, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy. Hi there, you.
Hi. You're on time.
Uh-huh. You know, Amber, you have the afternoon off. You should be home studying for tomorrow's exam.
Tomorrow's just algebra. Besides, this is a lot more important.
Did you say important or perverted?
Oh, God. You're not going to be like that, are you?
Can you smoke in this coffee shop?
I don't know. You promised me you'd try to be objective.
And I will. I promise. Again. This whole thing, it means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Fairness means a lot to me.
Is that it?
Of course. Yes.
Wow. I'm proud. I'm really, really proud of you. But still, of all the human rights causes, you could have gotten yourself involved in it.
Like human rights violations in Colombia?
That's a good one.
Or child labor in India?
Perfect.
Mom, that's the whole point. I mean, this one's here. It's right in our faces. I mean, it's right in my face every day, just down from our school. And I can't stand how inhumane and nasty and unfair people can be. All right?
All right. So, what's this guy's name again?
You know his name.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
Chester. Chester Davis.
And the name of this organization?
Convicted Person Support Network.
Great.
Paying your debt to society, as the courts define it, and as society at large defines it, are sometimes two very different things.
As in Chester Davis's case?
Yes.
It's a mess.
Unconscionable. A disgrace.
Mom hasn't gone over to see for herself yet. But you will, won't you, Mom?
Yes, of course.
It's really disgusting. All these people marching up and down with their awful signs. And the kids from our school go over there at lunch hour. It's like when there's a fight and everybody runs up like screaming and laughing. Watching somebody kick somebody in the head. It's that bloodthirsty.
We're grateful that Amber and her group are trying to make a difference. Mr. Davis is extremely grateful.
Uh-huh.
Except we haven't really accomplished anything. At first we tried to talk to those people, but they wouldn't listen. They just screamed at us, so now we're counter-demonstrating. But there's only like about 5 of us.
And that's where I met Amber, on the battle line. She was just slipping a piece of paper under the door.
Pardon?
It's just our phone number, in case Chester wanted to call.
I was on my way out. I had been visiting Mr. Davis. So I listened to her. I was very impressed. I invited her in.
That part I knew. The phone number's interesting.
Well, I wanted to tell him how our group felt about everything. I didn't know how else to get in touch with him. He's afraid to answer the door. Anyway, I just thought if you wrote something objective about Chester, his situation, then people might understand how he feels. So I asked Edna what she thought.
And I thought it was a terrific idea.
Or not. Depending. I never know how my columns will turn out until they turn out, if you know what I mean. I can't give you any guarantee.
No, of course not. I wasn't expecting any.
Where is he?
Well, would you prefer to see him alone or with me? He's waiting. Next door.
Alone.
I was 19.
And how long did they put you away that time? Did you receive treatment?
It was 2 years, and yes, I received some treatment.
Well, what was it? The same thing? Exposing yourself and sexual fondling?
Yeah.
How old were the kids?
6 or 7 years old, I think.
Girls? Boys?
Both.
Right. And then, the one that put you away for 12 years.
A boy.
And?
Rape.
Mind if I smoke?
Sure, you can smoke.
So, how old were you this time?
25.
And you were still living with your father, working in his hardware store in Simcoe.
That's right, yes.
And you received more treatment.
I received a variety of treatment for a long period of time. Group therapy, individual, aversion therapy, drug therapy, which I'm still on. You know, I would have gladly chosen castration, but they said, you know, it wasn't available, so.
Right. So this is the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You received treatment before and reoffended. And more seriously that time. So, why should anyone believe that the treatment you received the second time will work any better?
Oh, because it was much more comprehensive. And it went on for an extended period of time. A long period of time. Because also, I know how I feel.
Yeah. Well, say I'm a parent living in that neighborhood. Suddenly the police inform me that a convicted pedophile has just moved into his father's house down the street. You, Chester Davis, living 3 doors down from my little kids. Chester, I am not going to give you the benefit of any doubt. I just want you the hell away from my kids, and the faster the better. Do you understand that?
Yes, but it is irrational.
No. No, it's not. It's absolutely rational. Whether the chances are 1 in 5, 1 in 20, or 1 in 1,000, it's absolutely rational. Do you understand that?
I understand. I understand everything. I only meant irrational in the sense that removing me from the community, from this community, does not supply a solution, okay? Because I have to move somewhere, don't I? The only other options are suicide or, I don't know, living on a deserted island or reoffending to gain some relief from this.
Yes?
People marching up and down, monitoring me whenever I leave the house, whether I'm on foot, I'm in a cab, following, screaming. Oh, yeah, hate mail. There's negative energy of all kinds.
So, what do you feel is the logical solution, then?
Well, I would be very stupid to be the object of so much hatred, both inside prison and outside, and not understand why. But hey, they said I was free. So, I want my freedom. Give me my freedom.
Charlie, a coffee. Hello, Miss Delaney. Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah. Hi, Nick.
You look pensive.
Oh? Oh, just thinking about a street in Cabbage Town one summer night a long time ago. I saw this scrawny guy get kicked half to death. He'd been caught with his pants down, literally, with this little kid. News traveled fast on those streets. There was quite a crowd.
Yeah? Well, you know what they say about civilization being 1,000 miles wide and an inch thick.
I was that little kid.
No kidding.
It was okay. I mean, I was okay. He hadn't gotten around to doing much. I have a kind of reflex reaction whenever that subject comes up, you know?
I would imagine.
Remember that guy? You did a couple of stories on him. The released pedophile living on Banting Avenue? All the protesters?
Chester Davis. Front page for 2 days.
Amber would like civilization to be a bit thicker than 1 inch. Her group is counter demonstrating.
Really?
Really. She even talked me into interviewing him the other day.
Distressing?
Yeah, a little.
Does Amber know about the...
No, I haven't told her.
Why not?
Because
It's irrelevant to her defending Davis on the basis of his human rights. So why complicate things?
I would have thought a daughter and mother would have...
No. You know what she said last night? Just because one person's sick, why do we all have to become sick, too? And she has all these stats on sexual offenders. After 2 years or more of treatment, recidivism is actually really low, or so they show. She thinks there must be some middle ground where Chester can continue to live with his father and the community can still feel safe with him around. And Chester, he talks about wanting to be totally free, as if that's possible given what he's done.
Right.
She scares me, Nick. What if he does do something to some neighborhood kid? How's Amber gonna feel?
Devastated. But hopefully she won't lose faith in herself or the world. And she won't change.
Yeah.
I still find it remarkable that you wouldn't say anything to her.
Nick?
Okay. Still the Lone Ranger. I thought AA would change you, soften you up.
Did you?
So, how's it going?
Good. It's going good.
Really?
Yeah. You know what the big stumbling block was?
No.
God. I knew AA was about God. Well, there were some things you just had to hand over to him, like the idea you could control your own drinking. Well, I'd outgrown God a long time ago. The thought of me praying, it was embarrassing. It made me cringe. God as you understand him. That's how they put it. A definition which came as a relief to an ex-Catholic. It's working. Somehow. I cried for 2 days straight. I don't know what it is, but it's working.
2 coffees and 1 phone call for Ms. Peggy Delaney.
Oh? From whom?
Did not say.
Oh, my God.
It's better than it looks.
Oh, my God.
Mom, I'm not dead.
You've got a broken arm.
No, I haven't.
Dislocated thumb.
When I hit the sidewalk, I put my hand out. When I looked down, my thumb was pointing back up my arm.
Oh.
And 6 stitches in her mouth.
8.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Of course you know.
Some idiot, this guy. On the other side from my school, but I'm not telling you who.
Why not?
Because you'll just get involved and make some big scene out of it. And I don't want you involved, okay?
No. Is that why you called Bernie and not me?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Yes, Sammy, I see you too. Hi. Hi, I'm back.
Hi, Mom.
So, did Bernie stay long after I left?
No, he had to go back to his office, too. Get your files?
Mm-hmm. I can work here at home for a couple of days.
But I'm feeling a lot better now. I've got exams. I don't need to stay home for 2.
Well, you'll stay until I talk to the school, anyway, and... Oh.
Hello?
You remember Chester, Mom?
Uh-huh.
I hope this is not an intrusion of any kind.
No, it's not. Chester called me. He said what happened when I was outside his house. I mean, when all those kids were,
They ganged up on her. It was terrible. And I should have done something. I was just there at the window watching. I'm sorry.
No, you did the right thing. You shouldn't have come out. They just would have gone even more crazy, you know.
Yes, well, what exactly are you doing here, Chester?
He needs a favor, Mom. He left his house because it's so terrible there. His poor father's so upset with all the yelling, and he can't even go out, so Chester's moving where no one will know who he is. Edna's driving him to another city tomorrow, but he needs some place to stay. Tonight.
What? You've been at your father's place all this time. Well, why not spend one more night with him?
He told me to get out.
He told him to get out. He has nowhere else to go. He had to take a taxi to Eaton Center and then lose some people who are following him in the store. And then get a cab out here. It's awful, Mom. We have to help.
Is that your suitcase over there?
Yeah?
I'll take you to a hotel.
Mother, no. Chester's done nothing wrong. He's served his sentence. He's supposed to be free. Don't treat him like a piece of...
Oh, it's all right, Amber.
It isn't.
Where do you expect him to sleep?
On the couch.
Chester, could you excuse Amber and me for a moment? We're just gonna go on in here and have a little talk.
Sure.
Go back in the living room, Chester. Sit down.
Thank you, Amber.
Look, I don't think you understand the situation.
I understand the situation. You think he's going to do something to us, which means you don't know anything about people like Chester. And you're just being ridiculous. Or you think that even though he's paid for his crime, he should still be rejected and treated like dirt.
Why, Amber? Why is he so important?
Because it's not fair.
It's not just about fairness. It's more than that. What is it?
Mother, I'm trying to do something decent for somebody. Why won't you trust my judgment? And why won't you help me? It's important. To me, for once in your life, do something for somebody else. Do something for me.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Is that you? Hi, what? It's 1 o'clock. You woke me up. You're always waking me up. How's Amber? Is there something wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Guess what?
What?
She gave Chester Davis my number. He called after you left. He saw what happened to her. He's here now. He's sleeping on our couch.
Hello? Are you kidding me?
No. He's going to Niagara Falls tomorrow with this Edna person from the Convicted Person Support Network. He's going to relocate on the QT. Amber wants to go too. I'm lying here in the dark in my bed, stiff as a board, with the door open.
Oh, my God. He's going to do something?
No, I don't think so. God. Bernie, why is this guy so important to her? You know what I think?
What?
He's been rejected by everybody, and he's alone in the world. And maybe she feels alone in the world. And I rejected her, Bernie, when she was just a baby.
Listen, she's just trying to do something good, all right? She's just a good person trying to do good. Don't complicate things. And keep your eye on the door.
Bernie.
Uh-huh.
That's why she called you. When she was hurt. That's why she didn't call me.
Oh, it's a lovely day.
We don't get much snow in Vancouver. Not in the city, but you just have to look up to see it on the mountains.
Vancouver's one of my favorite places.
Yeah, I go back there after exams. That's where I come from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I live with my dad out there. I'm just visiting Mom for a semester. Aren't I, Mom?
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe the whole school year. It's negotiable.
With Dad? I don't think so.
With you.
When I was little, before my mom died, Mom and Dad used to bring me on picnics to Niagara Falls all the time. And that's why I thought it would be nice if I could live here.
Well, I've got a list of rooming houses, Chester. All I need to do is pick up a city map. We shouldn't have any problem finding some place.
I want to thank you. All of you, especially Amber, for everything.
You want to smoke?
No.
You mind?
No. Where's Amber?
Oh, she wanted to have a closer look at the falls.
Edna's still in the store. Bought the map. Now she's looking for a souvenir for her little nephew.
Okay. Peggy,
Yeah?
I didn't come here to live.
Oh?
No. I was going to give this envelope to Edna, but I've changed my mind. I think I'll give it to you instead.
What is it?
The truth.
What do you mean, the truth?
The truth. Open.
Well, it looks... it's a map, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Did you draw this?
Uh-huh. I'm the only person in the world who could. Go ahead, read what it says.
There's a date. May 14th, 1986. And you've marked the falls, the river, and a park.
Right.
Down the gorge, 100 feet. Standing tree, hollow inside. Tammy Stewart, 5 years old. Missing girl. Oh, God.
You know what it means?
Oh, God.
It's because of Amber. Because she believes in me. How can I accept Amber's trust in me and still be dirty? So for once in my life, I want to be brave. Oh, poor Amber. She thought that being punched, mauled, was all the price she had to pay for me to try to help justice be done. You know what? No good thing comes without its pain. Does it, Peggy? No? Justice will be done. And now I'm free.
You okay in there?
Mm-hmm.
Can I come in?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get you anything?
I feel so awful. I was so wrong.
Oh, no, honey. You were right. Listen. You were right. Because now, the family of that little girl, they know the truth and where her body is after all these terrible years. Finally, they have some measure of peace. Because of you.
He murdered her 3 days after he attacked that boy.
Yes, he did. You know, on the ride back, when you fell asleep, your head on my lap, just to see you there, I felt so grateful.
I just wanted to keep sleeping. Disappear. You knew there was something else going on with him all the time, and I didn't see it.
No, Amber. I didn't see it either. I should have told you before. The reason I was so resistant to you getting involved. This guy tried to do something to me when I was a little kid.
What?
He just pulled my clothes off. Nothing much had happened when he got caught by these two men, and it got really violent.
Oh, Mom.
I should have told you before. I'm sorry. I think I'm so stupid, you know? I don't know how I think you'll be closer to me if I can't open up to you.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Yeah, right. Because a drunk has to have her secrets. She needs her secrets for a reason to drink. I intend to do better.
Mom?
What?
I've been thinking, when I go out to Vancouver for Christmas, maybe I'll ask Dad about staying the whole school year. Here, with you. You could talk to him, too. Explain maybe, why that's a good idea. Do you think that, that's a good idea?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
This has been Second Chances. In the cast today, you heard Kyra Harper as Peggy, Katerina Scorsone as Amber, Nicholas Campbell as Chester, John Stalker as Bernie, Janet Lane Green as Edna, J.W. Carroll as Nick, and William Colgate as Charlie. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka. The recording engineer was Drago Grantic. Sound effects were by Matt Wilcott. Colleen Woods was the associate producer. The program was produced and directed in Toronto by Bill Howell, the executive producer of The Mystery Project. Thanking you for listening and inviting your comments. See you next week. Hi, gang. Bob Boving here with The Mystery Project and the next episode of Peggy Delaney, written by James W. Nichol. When a doctor is accused of misconduct with female patients, he appeals to Peggy for help. She finds it a harrowing and deeply troubling investigation. The Mskoka Point Hotel, starring Kyra Harper as Peggy Delaney.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, please feel free. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, communist, cop-loving, cop-hating, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, crypto-Bay Street swamp pig, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy. Doctor? Hi.
Peggy Delaney.
That's right.
I think I'd have recognized you even if I wasn't expecting you.
Oh?
From your picture in the paper. It's really nice to meet you.
Well, thanks. Your nurse said I could come on through.
Yes, of course. Please, sit down. Please.
Okay.
I'm just filling in time, shuffling some files around. Thank you for seeing me, for being interested.
Well, it's an interesting situation. I'm sure you've had more than just my request, though.
You're the only one I trust to be objective. I read your column, you see, and I agree with your take on the world most of the time. All these other media types, you can see them, their agendas coming from a mile away.
Oh, is that right?
I'm not suggesting, of course, you'll write what you write. I mean...
Okay. So, your license to practice has been suspended by the College of Physicians and Surgeons pending further investigation. Is that correct?
Yes.
And they gave you a chance to tell your side of the story?
Yes, but obviously they weren't persuaded. So we're into it. Lawyers, a formal hearing, but God knows when. And now the police are investigating to see if criminal charges should be laid. It's every doctor's nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome to mine.
I don't know how you can do that.
What?
Smoke and eat a Caesar salad at the same time.
Oh, it's not that difficult, but thanks. So what do you think of my doctor?
How many women did you say?
2 so far. There was a third one when he was practicing in Winnipeg, but then when they looked into her complaint at the time, it turned out she had accused her dentist and optometrist and the man next door of the same thing.
How old is he?
Younger than we are.
Is that possible?
He's 37, but he looks 20. That kind of face. Round and handsome and soft and, lovely big brown eyes.
Naturally curly hair? Ooh, I can see him now. Sweetheart, could you waft that smoke in a different direction? You're wilting my romaine here.
This is a great idea, Bernie.
What?
Having lunch together.
Well, how else am I going to get to see you? You've been avoiding me.
No, I haven't. I've just been really busy.
Yeah, that's what Amber says. Well, actually, the word she used was squirrely.
Squirrely? Where'd you dig that up? I'm not squirrely. I have 3 columns to write each week, every week. You should try it sometime. Both of you.
She says you're up half the night. She hears you.
Look, I know where this is leading, so stop it. I'm off the stuff. I haven't had a drink in weeks. I'm fine, really. You know what'll drive me crazy? People hovering around me, watching me. That's what'll drive me crazy. I gave Amber my word.
I know.
And I'm keeping it. I thought we were having lunch.
We are.
Good. So hurry up, will you? I have to meet these 2 women.
At the same time?
No, separately. I think I'm going to hate them.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. It just drives me nuts. I mean, they're grown women. They have an affair with their doctor. They go to his apartment, hotels, and now, suddenly, they were powerless. They were taken advantage of. They were victims. They've been emotionally scarred and irrevocably psychologically damaged. It's like saying women are so naive, so innocent, so obtuse, they shouldn't be let outside without a keeper. It's like saying there's something inherently weak-minded about us. It's Victorian. It's demeaning. It's not true to life as we know it on this planet. And it's infuriating.
Should be an interesting afternoon.
Just leave the word victim to real victims. Don't debase it all the time.
Okay.
Well, look, this has been great, Bernie. But I've got to go.
You've only been here 25 minutes.
Yeah, sorry, it's just like...
I know. Busy. Look, sweetheart, I just wanted to say, I just wanted... Amber is such a terrific kid.
Yes, she is. Why?
Well, she's so pleased you're off the sauce. It's kind of heartbreaking in a way, and she's worried at the same time. She hears you walking around the apartment half the night, pacing around. I don't know.
Working.
Sure, working. Look, how long have we been best friends? Forever, right? I know this guy. He's a terrific guy, and he swears by AA. Now, listen to me. It's really helped him out. It continues to... Well, he says he'd really be pleased to take you along to a meeting. Just go at your own speed, just hang out, talk to some people, hear some other people's stories, please. Sweetheart, just get some support. Don't try to do this all by yourself. I've seen you try this on your own before. Give yourself a break this time. Give Amber a break.
Uh-huh. Well... 1, I was going to split the bill, but since you had this secret agenda, you can pay for it.
Okay.
And 2, it's exactly because of Amber, because I gave her my word. That's why I can do it this time.
Oh, yeah?
And 3, go to hell.
More tea?
Oh, no thanks. I'm swimming.
Another piece of cake?
No thanks.
My mother-in-law made it. She's a really good cook.
Well, so she's obviously on your side in all this. I mean, there hasn't been an estrangement?
No. Well, whatever my husband says, her son, and he certainly understands. He's been very understanding. And she's an Italian mother, so... But I see her looking at me. She hates me, actually.
She doesn't understand the imbalance of power between a doctor and his patient?
No.
Dr. Westland's a GP, though, isn't he? He's not a psychiatrist or a counselor of some kind. But nevertheless, you feel his power over you was considerable?
Yes. He might as well have been a counselor or whatever. He was treating me for depression. We talked about very intimate things.
Uh-huh.
Well, but lots of things. Private. You build up trust. You become very vulnerable.
So you first went to him?
I was referred to him by a friend. I'd been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. But I wasn't happy with the vagueness of the diagnosis or the treatment. So I thought I'd try another doctor. He spent a great deal of time with me. An inordinate amount. I should have been suspicious. But that's the kind of doctor he wanted to be. Or so he said. Available to the person behind the ailment. Not just a traffic cop for specialists. And a dispenser of pills. So he said.
And so you became dependent on him?
Yes. I was so unhappy. So mixed up about everything. I cried a lot. He'd pat my hands, hold them. And then, after the first few visits, he'd hold me, hug me, you know? It was so reassuring. I was like this little kid. I poured my heart out to him. And it got so I had to see him all the time. I was so happy to see him. So I was getting better, you see. He was making me better. He said I was just weighed down by loneliness. That I'd never been unreservedly, absolutely loved. Well, I told him as much, hadn't I? So that's what he offered.
In those words?
No. I just knew, at this one moment in his office, that was what he was offering. I was a fool. But I was totally lost by this time. I didn't know who I was, what I was. He was stroking my face, and I turned and kissed his hand. Like a frightened little kid might. I must have had a look of absolute terror on my face. And we held each other, and once we started our relationship, I was like this person I'd made up. I was powerless over her. If he'd said, jump off the CN Tower, I'm sure she would have.
How long did it go on?
Almost a year. I broke down. I had to be hospitalized. And it was then I told my husband. I felt so awful, so guilty.
And your husband?
He understood that some crime had been committed, some crime against me.
I understand it was his idea to go to the Ontario Medical Association. And the police.
At first. Yes.
You're sure you don't want a beer?
Yeah.
Anything? I've got some really terrible wine.
No, thanks. So, getting back to where we were.
Yeah. Well, it's a pattern, right? As soon as my lawyer discovered this other woman and her husband had filed a complaint, it became very obvious this was not a one-time thing. I mean, with me.
You went to him because of stomach pains?
Right. I work in this industrial lab. We try to be careful, but God knows what we accidentally breathe in or absorb through our skin. The pain wouldn't go away. I was concerned. I always think the worst. Cancer. He thought possibly the beginnings of an ulcer.
What was it?
An ulcer.
Oh.
He's a funny guy, you know. I mean, amusing. He can be very amusing. Charm your socks off. Or, in my case, everything.
Well, you seem to be in pretty good spirits.
I am, now. You learn. Do you ever learn?
How did things start?
Talking.
Talking? You went there for stomach pains.
But I ended up talking. He likes to talk. All about my life, you know? Montreal, all my disastrous relationships.
And how did you get on that subject?
He just leads. Little harmless questions. The softest, warmest voice. I just found him very simpatico, you know? I was feeling completely messed up at the time. And his hands, when I was lying down, when he was examining my tummy.
Was his nurse there?
Yes, she was there, whenever he examined me. But it didn't matter. My neck still tingled. The way his fingers would press down, run over my skin.
Was this all your imagination, or something he knew he was doing?
At first, I thought it was just me. It was embarrassing. But when I came back for follow-ups, the message was very definitely there.
Then why did you go back?
I went back because I was lonely as hell. I'd just moved here. I'd had to literally get out of Montreal because of this abusive boyfriend. I didn't know anyone here. Alan, my doctor, was someone to talk to. Someone who really cared, I thought. About the fourth time I was there, I was sitting on the edge of the examination table, talking to him, and I got crying. And he held me. And it was just extraordinary. He held me, and it was electric. He said he was falling in love with me.
Can you tell me how much happened in his office? Because that's important, isn't it?
Everything happened in his office. He'd examine me. Then his nurse would go back to the reception room, so we'd be alone.
Who touched who first, in a sexual way, if you don't mind me asking?
He did.
That same time, when he told you he was in love with you?
No, he was too smart. He just moved away. Said I should go. He looked so sad, upset. So I did, kind of walked out like a zombie. I waited for him to call. He didn't. I went back. When he examined me, that time, in front of his nurse, I was shivering. When she left, he touched my face, ran his thumb across my lips, kissed me. We set a record, I think, for getting our clothes off.
With the door ajar?
Yes.
And now you feel it was an unfair relationship. Because he was a doctor and you were his patient. He had all the power. He could ask you personal questions and you'd confide in him because he was your doctor. He could touch you because that was his job. He was your doctor.
And when he knew me well enough that I was vulnerable, and when I became dependent enough on him, then he made his move.
He never loved you?
Alan Westland is a sinister, calculating, sexual predator. That's all he is.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey.
How's your day?
Fine. Hi, Sammy.
So, how's everything?
Fine. I had lunch with Bernie.
Did you?
You didn't know?
No. Why would I know?
Just wondered.
How is he?
Oh, he's just busy being Bernie.
You got a package delivered.
Oh?
Well, an envelope. Here.
So, how was school?
They handed out timetables today. Christmas exams.
And then back to Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
That's so depressing.
That was the deal.
I don't care.
So what is it?
It's, just a photostat of a bill from the Mskoka Point Hotel.
For you?
No, for Dr. Alan Westland. A weekend in August, 1996.
Well, who sent it?
It doesn't say.
Hey, that's the doctor who
Uh-huh.
was...
And my first guess, since it's his, is that he sent it.
Why?
August 96. Rita Donato. She's the married one of those two women. She was still involved with him in August of 96.
And the other one?
Jill Athens? No, she came after. Just last year. I mean, they weren't even concurrent. So how bad a guy is he?
Well, I wouldn't want to go to a doctor and think he had other ideas than just being my doctor. That's creepy.
Well, you're absolutely right. However, I think Jill thought she'd fallen into something pretty good. Love, maybe even marriage. They went out to clubs together. She stayed over at his place lots of nights. Then he dropped her. Do you think if he'd said, let's get married, she'd be charging him? I don't think so.
Well, how about the other one?
Well, she says she was feeling particularly vulnerable and he took advantage. But married people do have affairs, and half the time it's precisely because they are feeling vulnerable. But he was her doctor, so you're right. Creepy. But illegal? The Crown has to prove that Dr. Westland was exercising some sort of extraordinary authority or power over his patients, that these relationships couldn't be characterized as consensual, well, in order to establish criminal behavior. That's why this invoice is so interesting.
Why?
Well, just how passive were these women?
Appreciate you taking the time to come over here. Business is going crazy. I just can't seem to get away.
Well, I wanted to meet you too, Mr. Donato, since you're the driving force behind your wife's case.
I think Jill Athens is pursuing it just as vigorously.
This is about criminal behavior. This is about a guy who stalks women and controls them. I'm not even convinced there wasn't hypnotic suggestion involved, and then uses them, with no more concern than blowing his nose on a piece of Kleenex.
Danny?
The point is, my wife wouldn't have spent 5 minutes with this guy if he hadn't had complete control over her. So, there's your proof right there.
Well, thanks, Mr. Donato.
That's all right. Let's move towards the front door a little. Just wanted to make sure you understood our side of things. Rita, sometimes she feels things, thinks them, but doesn't say them. Well, I just get everything right out on the table. Right, Rita?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Well, looks like the real estate business is booming.
It's coming back. Why, are you in the market?
No, I just rent. I like my apartment.
Throwing your money down a big black hole.
Well, I almost did invest in real estate one time. This friend, he was a partner in this hotel up in Mskoka. Wanted me to invest or something. The Mskoka Point Hotel.
No kidding. We used to go there, didn't we, Rita?
Did we?
Sure. You remember, years ago when we were first engaged.
Oh, right. Wait up! He told you, didn't he?
I'm not sure. Probably. It would have come out in the hearing anyway, wouldn't it? He has to defend himself.
Well, I was hoping, praying that he might have some shred of decency, that he might not.
He's fighting for his reputation, his livelihood, and you're trying to send him to jail.
I'm not. I just want the whole thing to go away. It's Danny. It's his ego.
Uh-huh. And the Mskoka Point Hotel? Obviously, this was your idea of a great place to spend the weekend. With Alan.
This doesn't change what I'm saying. It doesn't change a thing. I was out of my mind.
It changes the dynamics. difficult to prove victimization when you're suggesting the resort to be victimized in, isn't it?
Why, here she comes. The Toronto Trib's one-woman firestorm.
Hi, Nick. Shut up, Nick, and leave me alone. Oh, I'm exhausted.
I've never seen a more violent reaction to a column in all my career.
I know. I've got feminist groups from Afghanistan after me.
Really?
No, I've got misogynist nut bars from England hailing me as the greatest thing since homogenized milk.
Really?
Yes. Not to mention a certain woman's husband who's threatened to break my neck if ever he sees me.
Well, you love it.
Yeah. And it makes me feel sick. I just wrote what I thought was going down.
Yes, you did.
And here she is, Peggy Delaney of the Toronto Tribune.
What are you doing, Charlie? Running a tour?
No, I'm just pointing out that you are here. And now I am going to ask you what you would like.
I would like a double gin poured gently over ice. But I guess I'll have a ginger ale.
Excellent choice. Oh, by the way, telephone call.
How did you know I was here?
I told your office who I was, and they suggested I try this Blue Moon Saloon.
Well, they're a helpful bunch.
As rough as you were on me in your column, I just wanted to thank...
Oh, no, don't thank me. I just didn't think what you did with those women added up to criminal behavior.
Neither did the Crown. Did you hear? They're not going to proceed with charges.
Yeah, I heard. I'm hoping it had to do with the facts of the case, not my column.
I think it had a lot to do with the Mskoka Point Hotel.
Uh-huh. You picked the right person to give that information to, didn't you? Picked me right out of a crowd. You're a clever guy.
Well, better than springing it on her in a court of law and then letting all the newspapers run with it, don't you think?
I don't know. I haven't asked her.
And the college is still proceeding with my hearing, though. They're trying to prove that I'm a person, as their standards of practice puts it, of bad character.
Can't help you there.
Oh, well, that's only in Ontario. That's why I wanted to call you. Besides thanking you, I've accepted a position with a hospital in the States. I'm leaving. Tonight.
Going to the States?
Uh-huh.
Did he say where?
Of course not.
Why did he call?
Oh, he was crowing. I think he thinks he did me, too.
No kidding. Having second thoughts.
About what? Hurting people? That's what I get paid to do.
Well, those women's names weren't printed in the paper, of course. His was.
Yeah. It just didn't warrant a criminal charge. Unless you want to believe women lose all capacity to exercise their free will under the influence of an authoritative male. Personally, I don't. At the same time, I know as well as I'm sitting here that he's going to do the same thing wherever he goes.
You have been listening to the Mskoka Point Hotel, the latest episode of Peggy Delaney by James W. Nichol. Kyra Harper played Peggy, Katerina Scorsoni played Amber, John Stalker played Bernie, William Colgate played Charlie, J.W. Carroll played Nick. With them were our featured guest performers, David Ferry as Dr. Alan Westland, Arlene Mazarol as Rita, Gabrielle Jones as Jill, and Dom Fiore as Danny Donato. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka. The recording engineer was Drago Grandich. Sound effects were by Matt Wilcott. Sandra Breutman was the associate producer. The program was produced and directed by Bill Howell, the executive producer of the Mystery Project, and inviting your comments. See you next week. Hi, gang. Bob Boving here with The Mystery Project for the next episode of Peggy Delaney, written by James W. Nichol. This time, Peggy is chasing, first, a story of fraud among old people that is causing heartbreak and hardship. Second, her own broken promises to her daughter, where the results are not so different. The Old Bamboozle, Episode 12 of Peggy Delaney, starring Kyra Harper in the title role.
Hello there. You've reached Peggy Delaney, Toronto Tribune. If you have something confidential you want to pass on, just leave your name and number. The walls have ears. I'll get back to you. If you're calling to give me fulsome, unqualified praise for my columns, please feel free. If you're calling to scream at me, fascist, communist, cop-loving, cop-hating, pro-lesbian, anti-lesbian, crypto-Bay Street swamp pig, go for it. After all, this is a quasi-democracy.
Housekeeping. Anyone here? Hello? Housekeeping. Excuse me, please. I didn't know anyone was here. Sorry. I didn't see any suitcases or anything.
It's all right.
It's 11:30. Checkout is 11.
Yeah, right. I forgot.
You want some more time? I can come back.
Great.
Sure. Are you all right?
Yeah.
You're shaking. Have you got a fever?
No.
You need some help?
Just give me a minute to make a phone call, okay? And I'll get out of here.
Sure. Sorry. You take your...
Look, could you light this for me?
Oh, I can do that. Hold steady. Hold it still. There.
Thanks. You're a lifesaver.
Sure. I take this bottle, okay? It's empty.
Yeah, great.
I'll come back.
Oh, come on. Oh, shit.
Cinderella Cleaning, where no matter how small the job or how big, every slipper fits. Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Oh, look who just surfaced. The Mother of the Year.
Don't, Bernie.
Where are you? At some hotel, right?
Where's Amber?
You didn't call her last night.
I couldn't. I was...
What? Too ashamed? Too drunk? Both?
Uh-huh. I made her a promise, and I broke it.
Well, what can I tell you? That you shouldn't make a promise you can't keep. That you are lying to yourself, that you're in way over your head, and you're in deep, deep trouble? What do you want me to say?
Where is she?
She called me about midnight, really scared. She thought you must have been hit by a car or abducted or something because she couldn't believe you'd break your promise to her. So I went over. We called the night desk at the Trib. We called the cops, hospitals. Then I got smart, and I called the Blue Moon Saloon, talked to Charlie. He said you'd been in around 10, but you were already more or less out of it. One drink and then took off. So I told Amber. And then she packed the bag and came home with me.
Is she still at your place?
She's a remarkable kid. She got up this morning, went to school. I said I'd call her if you showed up. And she said not to bother. It didn't matter. Not anymore.
Uh-huh.
So what can I tell you? I can't tell you anything. No one can. Sweetheart.
Yeah?
Why don't you come over here? We'll have a coffee. We can talk.
I'm working.
Don't be stupid. You're in
I'm working, okay? I'm working.
I was the world's biggest fool.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Mrs. Johns.
No, you wouldn't. But that's beside the point, isn't it? That's what I feel. And that's what I will always feel, besides a great deal of rage, which I was trained not to feel, let alone express. But if I caught him, I'd give him such a punch.
Good for you.
Well, if Auntie had done what I'd suggested in the first place, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Are those cigarettes I see in your briefcase, dear?
Yeah.
How about one?
Auntie, you know what the doctor said after your triple bypass.
One won't hurt.
Do you have an ashtray?
We can use the fruit bowl, dear. The bananas are going funny anyway.
Here, I'll take the fruit bowl, and I'll find an ashtray.
Bobby's so sweet.
Uh-huh.
Your hands are shaking, dear.
Oh, they do that since I was a kid. It's nothing. So how much money did you say?
120,000. But it's not the money. It's the meanness of it all, the coldness, dear. It's very frightening.
Yeah. This is a beautiful house, Mrs. Johns. I assume the loss of that money hasn't left you penniless.
Well, you'd be surprised. Like a lot of old people in this district, I'm sitting in a house worth perhaps $500,000. But that's about all I have. I'm just getting by.
Here's an ashtray, Auntie, since you insist on being naughty.
Bobby, you were saying if your aunt had done what you'd asked, she wouldn't have been the victim of this fraud. What do you mean?
I've suggested 1,000 times that it would be a good idea if I had signing authority. That way, I could look after her bills and anything that comes up. And then, you see, he wouldn't have been able to pull this stunt because he would have had to secure my signature and not hers.
It was so mean. So desperately mean. You understand, don't you, dear?
Hi there, Nick.
Ah, Miss Delaney. What are you up to?
Working. Or dying, I'm not sure which.
Rough night?
Do I look it?
Well, yes.
And hello once again to you, Ms. Delaney. What can I get you?
Double gin on ice.
Okie dokie.
I thought you were... So, what are you working on?
Oh, this series of frauds.
Hmm?
Some heartless bastard usually picks old women. I mean, old, living alone. It's a variation on the bank inspector con.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You want to hear about it?
Sure.
Okay. Well, this guy, he poses as a bank inspector, and he asks some old soul if they'd please cooperate in helping him catch a teller suspected of stealing at their local branch. The bank's almost sure this teller, in preparing a certified check for a customer, and instead of crediting the certified check's account with the amount of the withdrawal, transferred the money out of the branch into an accomplice's account.
Uh-huh.
So, he says, to catch her in the act, we want to tempt this teller with a very large check. Would you be so kind, dear, to go down to the bank with me and certify a check?
Right.
Mm-hmm. The old dear goes down to the bank with the inspector, always on the first of the month, the bank's busiest day, and during lunch hour. He points out the teller. She goes up and certifies a check payable to Star Investment or something. And then, certified check in hand, she walks out of the bank. The inspector is waiting for her. She hands him the certified check. He hands her a deposit slip with a bank stamp indicating the same amount will be deposited back into her account later that day. He goes back into the bank. She goes home. And the next time she goes back to the bank, all that money is still out of her account, and nobody knows what she's talking about.
Meanwhile, the bank inspectors deposited the certified check into a Stir investment account somewhere, of which he is the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Then transferred the money into cyberspace, and it's gone.
All gone.
Don't you love these guys?
And a Peggy Delaney special for a special Peggy Delaney.
Forget it, Charlie. Just forget it. Take it away.
Oh, you bet. Call me. Anytime.
Big sacrifice. This morning after last night, I had to drink a half a Mickey in my car just to see straight.
Know what I think?
What?
I think what you should do is get yourself some help. Right now. Call this the bottom. Don't wait until you can't work anymore. Until all you want to do is crawl into a hole with a bottle. Don't wait. Like I did.
Nick, I screwed up with Amber. I've really screwed up with Amber.
Go get help.
I can't.
Why? Because you're Peggy Delaney? Because you're too proud? Too stupid?
I've been thinking that maybe this is how I punish myself, because of Amber. All the years I wasn't there for her. Because I hate myself so much. Do you think that's it?
I'll tell you what's it. You're a drunk. You're not looking for a reason. You're looking for an excuse. Where are you going?
To work. I'm working. And thanks for the understanding, Nick.
I'm coming with you.
No. Just get lost, would you? Just get lost. The thing I don't understand, do you think I could have a drink of water, please?
No, I don't see why not.
Oh, I'll get it, dear.
No, I'll get it. I'll get it.
I'm dehydrating or something, sorry.
Oh, it's no problem. It's just Walter's hip. It's so sore.
Mrs. Fielding, the thing I don't understand, how did this man who posed as the bank inspector, how did he know you'd have a significant amount of cash in your bank account? Well, he had to pretend to know because he's supposed to be from the bank, but how would he really know? And, how could he know that you're the type of people that,
Foolish enough?
I was going to say responsible enough to feel you had a duty to help catch a thief.
Walter's always been a very firm believer in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong.
Yes, and I still am. Cost me $80,000. Here.
Oh, thanks.
Thirsty?
Yeah.
Are you too hot, dear? You seem to be...
No, I'm fine.
We keep this place too hot, Walter.
No, we don't. I heard what you said. When you get as old as us, you don't put your money in investments where you could lose it. You keep it where you can see it. He knew that, and he knew an old fool when he saw one.
Now, Walter, don't.
We have to sell our house.
Oh, that's terrible.
They target old people. They have no respect.
Phone scams. You've won $100,000 in some state lottery. They just need $1,000 in tax payments and fees to release the money. TV and radio evangelists, come-ons, contractor scams, new shingles slapped over rotting roofs. Even relatives circling around trying to get money, one way or another.
Well, we avoided that one.
What one?
The contractors. We had our roof done, over a year ago now. Isn't that right, Walter? But the man was as nice as anything.
Well, that's... Oh.
You have to keep reminding yourself there are some decent people in the world, and doing what's right still counts for something. Otherwise, there's no reason to live, is there?
That's true, Walter.
Yes. This nice man, he was the man who worked on your roof?
Oh, no. He didn't do the work himself. He owned the company. But he came around 2 or 3 times just to make sure the job was done right. He was very concerned about these fly-by-night operators. He wanted us to know that everything was on the up and up. He sat here and visited with us. Didn't he, Walter?
Yeah, he did. He's a good man. The bill was good, too. We were very happy with the whole thing.
And this roofing job was done a year or so ago?
Yes, dear.
Can you remember his name or the name of the company?
Oh, Walter?
Oh, it was some kind of animal. There was this picture, on his card. Fox. Red Fox Roofing. Why?
Why?
It's just a question. Have you had any work done to your house? A new roof, anything?
You keep fading out, dear.
I'm on my car phone. Can you hear me now?
No one should talk on a telephone driving a car. Don't you realize how foolish you look?
Did you hear the question?
Of course, I'm not deaf. Yes, as a matter of fact, a new roof. The old one was falling down. This company dropped in one day last year, said they noticed the state of my roof. Bobby approved, so they fixed it.
Were you happy with their work?
Oh, yes. In fact, the owner came by several times, just to make sure everything was perfect. As I remember, he was very kind. We had some very nice talks.
Do you remember what this company was called?
Tip Top Roofing, dear.
You want me to what?
Just call this number. That's all. This one here. See? Tell them you're flying to England tomorrow. You'll be working over there for at least a year, and your mother needs a new roof.
You look sick.
Bernie, just do it.
You look terrible. So, you want to find out their address?
That's what I said. Yes.
Then why don't you do it? I'm trying to run a business here.
Because if he doesn't cooperate, I'll get too aggressive or something.
First of all, sit down. And would you try to relax?
I am. I'm relaxed.
This is crazy.
You're doing good, Bernie.
Well, I've always liked old people. You look awful.
Because I'm overworked, that's why. Because I need this column. Because I've missed a couple of deadlines and I have to keep up 3 columns a week every week.
Hello? Hi. Is this, Tip Top Roofing?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I got your number from a friend of my mother's, actually. This is a bit last minute, but I was wondering if I could drop around tonight. See, I'm leaving first thing tomorrow. I'll be working out of the country for at least a year. My poor mother's roof is a wreck, and I don't want to leave without arranging for a new roof. Okay?
It's better if I drop around to your mother's place. I can have a look.
But I only have tonight, and I do want to meet with you first. I've got measurements. I had our handyman measure the roof.
Handyman?
Handyman?
Yes, it's a large property. Too large for my mother now, but she won't budge.
Is that right? Sure. Come on over. We're at 1287 DuPont. You know, just before you get to Ossington. You got it?
Got it. Thank you so much.
Think nothing of it, Mr.
Snyderman.
Mr. Snyderman. My name is Lucas, and I'm sure we'll be able to fix your mother right up. Look forward to meeting you, sir.
1287 DuPont.
Hi, Bernie. It's just me. Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Your mother just dropped in. We're playing detective, which isn't as much fun as playing doctor, but when
Okay, Bernie.
So, do you want me to leave you two alone?
No.
I can...
Why would I want that?
I'm sorry about last night, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it. Just forget it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I broke my promise.
Peggy, look, I love you. And you have to listen to me. You've tried to stop drinking on your own 100 times. Now, I think what you need to do
Don't
is...
tell me what to do, Bernie. So, you're coming home tonight?
No. What I want to do is go back to Vancouver. But I'll lose my whole term, so I have to stay and write exams. So I'm moving in with a friend.
A friend?
Yeah. You met her. She was over for supper one night. And now, her parents said it's okay. They have an extra room.
Beautiful.
Where are you going?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere. You know, Amber, I've just never been able to stomach guilt trips.
Guilt trips? This isn't a guilt trip.
Oh, yeah? Well, sweetheart, if it walks like a duck and it talks like
shut the hell up! I'm so stupid, you know? Bernie tried to tell me, but I wouldn't listen. I thought there was something that I could do, something that I could change to help you, but I don't have any power. Do I, Mom? All I can do is hurt. So I'm gonna stay at my friend's because I don't want to hurt so much anymore.
Yeah.
Bernie?
She's tougher than God. It'll be all right.
This is fun.
Oh, yeah?
I've never been on a stakeout before.
Glad you're enjoying it.
How about another cig?
Okay.
So, the one man sweet talks us while his lads fix our roofs. He finds out all about us. Then a year or so later, the other one, supplied with all the information, arrives at our door as a bank inspector.
Well, that's my hunch anyway.
Do you have a gun, dear? Dear?
What?
Nothing. Don't you think we've parked just too close to the building? They might recognize me.
No, it's all right.
Why don't we park on the other side?
I know what I'm doing. This is my job.
Of course it is. Are you all right?
Yes.
You're crying, dear.
No, it's just allergies.
Oh, look.
What?
That man who just came out the door. That's him. That's the owner of Tip Top Roofing.
And Red Fox Roofing, and who knows how many more. Well, good. At least we found him.
Oh, we found more than him, dear. See that other man walking behind? That's the man in whose mouth butter wouldn't melt. That's the bank inspector.
Okay. Turn your face away, quick.
He's looking directly at me.
Well, turn.
But he's seen me. They're running back into the building.
Oh, Jesus.
You parked too close. Where are we going?
We're going home. I'm going to the police. Fraud squad.
Yes, well, of course I wouldn't know. But I suspect by the time the police get there, they'll be gone, dear.
Yes, I know.
Hello.
Hi.
Your first meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah. First meeting's always the toughest. I was scared out of my skin. Well, I better get things started. Welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take your seats, please. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. Okay, thanks, folks. Hi, my name is Archie, and I'm an alcoholic. Now, every meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous I've ever attended or chaired has always started with the moment of silence and the serenity prayer. So, if you would.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Help me.
You have been listening to The Old Bamboozle, Episode 12 of Peggy Delaney by James W. Nichol. Kyra Harper played Peggy. Katerina Scarsone was Amber. John Stalker was Bernie. J.W. Carroll was Nick. William Colgate was Charlie. Marie V. Cruz was the maid. Joyce Campion was Elizabeth. Peter Millard was Bobby. Gerard Parks was Walter. Judy Sinclair was Margaret. Dwight McPhee was Lucas. And Frank Rufo was Archie. The music was composed and conducted by Milan Kimlicka. The recording engineer was Drago Grandich. Sound effects were by Matt Wilcott. The associate producer was Leanne McDonald. Our coordinating producer is Barry Morgan. See you next week.